다 도마 상물이야다 아주 딜리기 숨지셔야다 아니 아주다 니마 숨우진리야 엔데지 주제 까마버시 러줍체 다는 신기 저번에 지임이 다지 질레쇼 내장 다들 주반 된세 리브 총매이메를 내주잖아요 다야 뒤줄에 임비냐 상관없냐 저시들이 쉬어요
I'd like to begin by welcoming you all and saying good morning. For the past 3 days, we had the practice of the Karma Pakchi Guru Yoga as well as the activity ritual of the long life goddess Tseringma. And that has been completed and it has gone well, so I'd like to wish everyone Tashi Dedek.
And Suji Yorba, Suji 31st, Yorbi, Dawandela 31st, Yorbi, Ona, Zogu, Suji, Nimashishia. Just that the Trine, Nimashi in Lia, on Tagan, those I am Mutuni, sugar of the Digiresha.
And so from today, for the next 4 days, we will continue the teachings on the Ornament of Precious Liberation.
Tachidangi Kadeslava Sunchu Zamdo Maseve, Nea, Jing Araniada, Lega, Mambuchevi, Lusane, Tigunzel Dene, and Jiga, Tina and Daji. 내가 망부주변한다 깔라카슈르 되바지 순주샤의 깔라카슈르 진비 소리도 가르스타나다 쇼베 순주샤에서도 상 건다 네베 소리차 직대스 마데르 샤도도 쇼시라메 겨도 샤도도 제가 디균센데네 제 순주샤디 디스 카슈에다 다 수비기다 슉 망보지 다지 삼로 당과지 하는 기재 시험과 수비 슉 망보지도 로데게 레소스도 다 임비네야 다 간다야 간다 니们시진리야 근데 봐 수주 샤르 주임이 뉴스다네 나 갈라간점을 지마 타겐디 나 슈터를 쇼이스
In addition to the teachings, I have a lot of other work that I need to do as well. And among all the things that I do, actually the most difficult is the teachings. So when I teach in the mornings, then in the evenings it's like I don't feel quite so well, not so comfortable. I haven't got much energy. And I think it's because it takes so much energy to think and to talk during the teachings. But in any case, we do have these 4 days of teachings, and so I will do what I can to continue with the Ornament of Precious Liberation.
jorwe choga da mushi choga da jegi choga tambula jude cheban biwa da digwa shangwa da gewa da jisu ira chui kolo go go nyangale me da swan gewe za ngo tela tambu cheban biwa de yu dan cheban yi sie bar cha tela yu ne unjo ngusum ne shoba da cheba da ngusum ne mi shoba da cheba ni sonam nyam bar shebe ngusum do geba da mo yurba tam yu de gele chedo tedaran do de ge ramdang sem da de ba chuni zo bar cha sange na lo khela so 무슨 민버체 제 송소 체발라에 니레 라나 예베 체바다 라나 메베 체바다 당볼라 니디 상지기 체바다 두베 체바다 당볼라 차가 체바다 두베 체바다 제림 버샴베 체바다 당베 용수 무슨 제 휴드 중 체바다 르주 체바다 륜비 체바다 다 제버 셰버 차 Jube Chebana, Laigu Chagachemu, or Gomba, Chenjusaban, Dings in the Chue, Quebe Chebao, Lana Meve Chebane, Migua the Jebe Cheba, Migua Meve Chebao, Tela Tambone, Chanjukism Gomba the Chigeto, Kebe Chenjusam Gona, Yawasa the Jebala, Cheban din the Tambo Shea Sonso, Migua Meve Cheban, Damegi Gomba de, Chebe Choyin, Tedra and Laibu, Loduram Chube Liule. Chanju Debe, Chanjusamba gave a chow congregation, Medobella, Tishin Segunda. Puni Misho Sangi Chibabe, Kangi Kangla Dada Sword and Kasamaji in the Chedi, the Tunitella, Rese Shertoba, Te Misho Tamba Chebale, She Sonso. Singi Dajing Dolegan, Kan Dushi that Sama Geber Migeba Dene, Tijishiba Chebaino, Landor Meba, the Nisu Meba Jubatene, Tijishiba Chebaino, Trobota, Tijishiba good and over me with Sini Imbe, Tening over Dushila Nebi, Cheber. The
ceremony has 3 stages: the preparation, the actual ceremony, and a conclusion. The preparation is in 6 parts: making offerings, confessing past wrongs, rejoicing in virtue, requesting the Buddhas to teach the Dharma, supplicating the Buddhas not to abandon the world, and dedicating the roots of virtue. The first, making offerings, needs to be understood in terms of both recipients and the offerings themselves. The offerings are made to the most precious refuges, since it is explained that making offerings to them creates the same merit, whether or not you are actually in their presence. Offerings are made both to those present and to those not actually present. Thus the Ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, with a mind filled with faith, offer robes and so forth to the Buddhas, both in reality and with your imagination, in order to complete the 2 accumulations. As for the offerings, there are 2 types, surpassable and unsurpassable offerings. The surpassable offerings are also twofold: material offerings and the offering of realization. Material offerings comprise prostrations, praises, material goods neatly and properly set out in the right order, and also the offering of things that belong to no one in particular. These can be actual things of good quality as well as creations of the imagination and the offerings of your own body. Such offerings can be studied in detail in other works. Realization as an offering entails offering Mahamudra meditation of the deity's forms, as well as the various arrays of offerings emerging from the profound meditative absorptions of the bodhisattvas. Unsurpassable offerings are twofold: those that take place within what appears to be objective reality and those beyond objective reality. The first of these is bodhicitta meditation. As it is said, when a wise person cultivates bodhicitta, this is the highest offering he can make to the Buddhas and to their heirs. The second, offering that is beyond objective reality, refers to meditation on the absence of the self-entity, which is the supreme offering. Therefore, it said in the questions, the Devaputra's Sushtimati Sutra, were a bodhisattva desirous of enlightenment to make offerings to the Buddha, the best of all humans. Offering quantities of flowers, incense, food, and drink equal in number to the grains of sand on the banks of the river Ganges, so doing for 10 million cosmic ages, and were another such bodhisattva ought to offer his training in the teachings on no self, absence of life force, and absence of personality, along with the resulting achievement of being able to sustain clear lucidity, it would be the latter bodhisattva who made the better offering. It also says in the Lion's Roar Sutra, not to create ideas or descriptions is to make offerings to the Tathagata. To be without adopting or rejecting and to penetrate that which is non-dual is to make offerings to the Tathagata. Friends, since the very character of the body of the Tathagata is insubstantial, do not make offerings while conceiving it to be substantial. This concludes the section on making offerings.
Nivan Divashawa Shena Jirgidi Tamji Yi Gulon Rale, the Yi Zoe, Yunga Chen, Tedri Chenwale, Shen Yin under Yin Zo Jetabe, Shetabe, Shesunso, Tiana Yi Chadana so Yamobaji, Gunya Lane, Sammebangam, Tedanyangam, Migi Jum, Tombata Tamzilla Soba, Tamzinyambala Soba, Rangi Cheva, the Shen Chedza, Cheval Jesu Iran, Digwa Migi Chade, Termazi Yi Chadana. Nyomobaji Gunalan Tabechula, Tesam Gosu Jeba and Miguel. 대다가 지분은 동해 중앙인데 대다야 이제 중앙 되자 시간 때문에 되게래는 미기와의 동해 지신에로 탐제도 시에서 준주래게 미기와의 동해 중 딜렌 지드랑에 따라서 인생구도 다가 니니 바시 삼버리 시에서 대나 디과 탐제 샤버 차오 샤wen 당에서는 신도양에 도냥냥에 대신에 디바 체내게 친규의 치르쳐나 춘용 역바지 노부 추당게 당밤 진다 체는다 세바다 다와 셰바다 대회는 디바는 괴지 맞아 버샤는 지더부야 장원을 기로 셰소 실루 지더샤나 톱넘버시 관에 샤소 대단히 최시 때문에 도래 참바 전주 선바 좀 최시다 되는 디바 최신 싹고 쓰기는 뭐 시간시는 디다디 넘버 순지 먹고도 잡아다 니 먹고도 잡아다 니발도 또 땡기도 셰송소
The second is confessing past wrongs. Generally speaking, good and evil depend upon the mind's motivation. Mind is the master, and body and speech are its servants. The precious Garland says, "Since mind precedes all things, it is often said, mind is master." Hence, when the mind is motivated by a defiled state, desire, anger, and the like, people may commit the 5 heinous acts, or the 5 like them, or the 10 negative actions. They may break vows or profound commitments, or perhaps incite others to do such things. Even if they do not do these things personally, they may delight in the fact that others are perpetrating such evils. All the preceding are what is meant by the terms wrong and non-virtues. Not only those, but even dharma activities such as study, contemplation, or practice that are motivated by a mind under the sway of passion, anger, and the afflictions also become a non-virtue. Thus the precious Garland says, "Attachment, anger, ignorance, and the actions to which they give rise are non-virtue. Non-virtue brings all the sufferings, and hence all the lower states of existence." Furthermore, in the Guide to the Way of the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, it says, "It would be right to only think all day and night in just this way. Suffering arises from non-virtues. How can I be freed from them?" This is the reason every wrong needs to be confessed. Will calling wrongs to mind actually purify them, though? Most definitely. The great Nirvana Sutra says, "Although a wrong may have been committed, subsequent remorse will put things right, in much the same way as certain precious substances restore water's clarity, or as the moon retrieves her brilliance when emerging from the clouds. And hence it is by unburdening yourself of wrongdoings with remorse and without dissimulation that there will be purity." In what way exactly should you rid yourself of wrongdoings? By applying the 4 powers. Thus it says in the sutra teaching the 4 qualities, Maitreya, if a bodhisattva mahasattva have these 4 things, they will overcome evils that have been committed and established. What are these 4? They are 1, the power of thorough application of total remorse, 2, the power of thoroughly applying the remedy, 3, the power of renouncing harmful acts, and 4, the power of the support.
다들래야 다두스만 되는 샤나시라서 돈하는 시야야 다도랑 아주지게 냠레시베 겁리야 는 냠랭기 되는 내가를 처음에 에너지 초어서하다 주바자 다디 인나야 만두바지 냠랭지 메리 브레스.
So just reading too much is not so helpful. In any case, when we are doing the practice, all of the main points of the practice are included within gathering the accumulations and purifying our misdeeds and obscurations. There's no practice that is not included within these 2.
다 초사바 스르산에 다디 람규레 계획이 튕긴 주버차디 말에.
So gathering the accumulation means that we are gathering all the favorable conditions for developing the path within our beings.
다드네 디집 정하사디 람규레 계획 당 게게 세월차디 세월체비 냠레 임바레.
And purifying misdeeds and obscurations means the practice that removes or eliminates all the impediments to practicing the path.
제가 딱 아주 냠내 컨트리 쉐비네야 에너지 다디 베나 천주 셈도 지 냠내 쉐비네 천주기 셈기 튕겐데서 아주 깨야가 튕겐 엔데서야 주버체 엔 천주 셈 깨야가 개겐 다 발제되게 막 쉬워차 디나로라 모두베 엔 냠내지 배위말.
And so for whatever practice we do, like for example, the practice of bodhicitta, the practice of bodhicitta entails developing and accomplishing all of the favorable conditions for developing bodhicitta, as well as pacifying and eliminating all of the impediments and obstacles to developing it. And so there is no practice of bodhicitta that is not included within these two.
Then yanla dumbalya and chosa jongli nyamle niga changwa yimbe Hindustan ti gyunzel denede nyamle ge domdobu jichade yoras.
Now, the practice of the 7 branches includes both gathering the accumulations and purifying our misdeeds and obscurations. So, for that reason, it is like a summary of all the practices.
Duende archi, Nimatawan duende archi means azu the cage boimba, Zachem boimbachi, azu stashing the omane.
So normally we think that reciting doing the 7 branches is easy. We don't really understand how important it is. We recite it every day and we don't really think about it. We don't know how important, how critical it is.
That's rangi doina production doina lone ji yela dumbesa jidangi karshwe done chungwa she andinan ji tiwa shimyoge dode zone chungwa de shade yare labordo da sangi pebuchi samujebe liule chungwe yela dumbate Now,
generally, it is said that the practice of the 7 branches comes from the sutras. It is said in particular to come from the Mahayana sutras. And among all of these sutras, it is from the chapter on the noble aspiration for excellent conduct of the Gandavyuha Sutra that there is the clearest presentation of the 7 branches.
Kama bokundi chusumbi kambum naloleya drungjiare tadi kabdi dusane ane subugi da 춘진바 수르바제레샤 춘진바 수르바체 코란을 윤대시다 유스마레 이내 카데버르지 저와 망볼래야 가버르지에 되는지도 춘진바 겐센사 그래도 다 팅지 까마바 데 대신 열으사죠 다 대신 열으사데 수유기 롱베게 달라마 저 수부의 마용 롱베 달이야 다 지지어 내리지어 내지 조의 까마바 정중도지당 안 공기 로마 다 조도 제주사들 shumbre 디주 쇼세 내르지 다 지금 왜내들지 왜내들이야 내골페 디주산에 되네 정중도지 주부 저부지르지 디나로래 폐시 and the design Gamabaki and Chunjiba Gensalia. Ata di Maranzo one Tarin Delia, Desia Le, Ne Zachambre, Drupu di Be Zachambushare, 제단 딜리아 교랑기 연락 듀버지 되나 야부면 로스 도스카나 연락 듀버스도 가르스게 됐어 고랑기 연락 듀버스도 하고 있어 말아요 연락 듀버스도 가서 상주에 나네 진인수다사 주와 다디 연락 듀버스도 되래 다디 진인수다사에 만되는 꼬란데 견네 야부 지 짠 차야 민도스다 그 로리 야부 조이스 말아 그 꼬라쟁가 짠 처음에 델리 듀버인데 요 말아요 근데 찬세와 당사야 된 되나 야부 알았다 다 찬세와도 최지상 제가 그 딘데벨 유지하래 제가 아주 남기 산주난에 산주 때 진이수단 되는데 망보지기 그냥 진이수다데 연락 듀버이메 고좀도 봐 연락 듀버사데 가르레슬라데 가르지나 사버지와 이 진이수단 마치 시에샤 된다데 연락 듀버이마 하고 말해 제가 아주 남기 연락 듀버사데 남기 니마다고 되는데야지래 딘년같이 좀 가져이면다데 니 가르 디네단으로 가져이면 아주 싫은 고쳐 말아요.
And there's a story from the time of the 13th Karmapa, which is included in his collected works. Now, at that time, at Supra Monastery, there was a discipline master named Gyaltsen. He wasn't really all that educated, but a former discipline master named Gyaltsen. And he was not very educated, but he was very glib, and he liked to talk quite a bit. And he was always happy to answer various questions. So this former discipline master Gyaltsen, one day the Karmapa went on a pilgrimage to a mountain at the base of the same valley where Tsurku Monastery is. And this mountain is a very sacred mountain. It was the place where the third Karmapa, Rangchung Dorje, and his students spent much time practicing, and it is from this place that it is said there are 80 great Mahasiddhas who appeared there. And so this is a very considered a very sacred place, and there's a retreat cave of the third Karmapa, Rangchung Dorje. So the Karmapa and this ex-discipline master went there, and when they got there, the Karmapa said to the discipline master Gyaltsen, we've come to this place, it's a really sacred, important place. It'd be very good if you recited the 7-branch prayer. The 7-branch prayer, he replied, what's that? I don't know what it is. And so the 13th Karmapa said to him, it's that one at the beginning of the noble aspiration for excellent conduct, the one that begins in Tibetan, Jini Suda Choch, and so forth. And so in English it's I prostrate to all the Buddhas, as many as there are in all directions, and so forth. And so he said, well, I always get mixed up in that one. I always end up going in circles in this. I don't really know it that well. Isn't there a shorter one that we can recite? And the Karmapa said, well, you can recite just the last verse of that, the one that says, whatever little merit I have gathered by prostrating, offering, and confessing, and so forth. So that's a short one. And so, at any rate, this story that the discipline master couldn't recite the seventh branch prayer. And so it's like the same with us. We recite this prayer all the time, and yet we don't understand that it is the 7-branch prayer. We just don't know what it is that we're reciting. We don't understand the meaning of the prayers that we're making these 7 branches of offering. And so the point here is that the 7 branches are something we recite every day, and yet we do not really know or understand how critical it is and the real the way it really is.
연락 뒤에에 난 당분이디 림주다 선생기 쳐봐 예소다 림주 세두자는 아주다지 셰브지슈야로 근데 림주스와 림주 아주 림주다 ane kendo ni norche ta dinsan ji pena mindruji 네번로 차 델리아 샵된 림주 가르고도 쓰거라 오늘 전에 지나 림주당 겐도니 노르네 노르를 송도하데 겐도사다고 고란리아 강에 제 디바 도야 강에 디세야 제도 어느 저한테야 될 겐도스 다 림주사디 에너지 아나도 다지 샤사를 제비는 쳄지슈야 안들베지 데 서비스 차 디지리아 림주스도와 제저이나 디디스 딩산 노르지 디르비치가 알아서 다든도나 차세와데 림주 쳐바체 상승기 룽아 도나 림주스도잖아 룽아 쳐바체 데네 셔범비아데 상승기 쳐바르체 데네 치망아보데 주베 쳐바이스다 최배왕도 쳐베입니다 데네스
So the 7 branches, the first 2 of these are offering service and then making material offerings. So offering service means that we make services. Now these days, sometimes, particularly in Tibetan, we get this confused with removing obstacles or services or rituals to remove obstacles. It's like we think that when someone is ill and we need to do a service for them. We think that doing some ritual to remove obstacles is that service. But that's not actually what we mean by service here. That is the removal of obstacles. What we mean by service is basically that we offer gifts of service with body and speech. And so we often confuse this in Tibetan. In any case, in the 7 branches, the first is prostration, which is service. It is service with our body and speech. This is a type of offering. The second is material offerings. And so these 2 are offerings. And then the next 5 branches of the 7 are all offerings of practice. And so in this way, all 7 branches are types of offerings.
And 대다장바 두샤바입니다. 된 넘버 다 두비면 된 넘버 시 난도에 그래. 야나 두바데 두나 소사바다 지버종하다 개와뼈하다 미세버차바스 미세버차바데 시 난도에 그래서 다데 소사바사데 가라사나 차사와도 처번비와도 귀신 소환되버 시디 소사바체 다드네 샤바데 집중체 제수 이라와 차데 개와뼈와체 다드네 오와데 미세버체바스 지가르 미세버체바 다진 제바메버체바 다디실은 도유스.
If we want to sort of summarize them even more, actually all 7 branches can be included within 4. These are gathering the accumulations, purifying obscurations, increasing our virtue, and making it inexhaustible. So gathering the accumulations means the prostrations, the offerings, and the request to the Buddha to turn the wheel of Dharma, and the requests to turn the wheel of the Dharma and not pass into nirvana. Confession is purification of misdeeds. Rejoicing is increasing our virtue. And dedication is making it inexhaustible. In other words, making it so that our virtues will never run out.
대다게 신도 두베입니다. 디버샤와데 집중체 신다 참물로 소사 제아르비다 곱셰기 앞다는 리지레이션.
And if we want to look at it even in a more condensed way, then the confession of misdeeds is purification of misdeeds and obscurations, and all the remaining branches are gathering the accumulation of merit. And so that's a very sort of short way of looking at it.
지당기 연라 듬보 제질라야. 되는 초상의 지바장 니가 지 가르쳐 니가 가르쳐
Actually, with each of the branches of each of the 7 branches, there is a way to practice it so that both the gathering accumulations and the purification of misdeeds and obscurations is complete within each branch.
초사베 차상와는 초사베 냠레 청주디 아주 상메 하고 대르시 다들에 지버장 냠레 청주디 가르사나 다 차차와디 뉴모베 냠볼이야 뉴모방 아예기 냠볼이야 로와치제 진짜가 토네 양 가르에 냠레 지나요 이므레.
For example, with prostrations, we all understand how practicing this is a way to practice gathering accumulations. The way that doing prostrations fulfills a practice of purifying misdeeds and obscurations is that prostrations are an antidote for the afflictions. Prostrations are an antidote for the affliction of pride. And so there is a way to practice it as the antidote for pride.
다데 아란도 삼노스tam입니다. 담 아란스에게 따지 베나 미망부지 알데 미망부지 온조 무시다네. 다간다 참붐 이제 주셔야래. 당 아주 참붐지 체네. 아주에게 차체네. 아란스에게 아게데 총루선도다 야나 참범지 체도 아제처럼 봐. 이 참범지 체인 사람지 이제 다양 아제를 제스로 제사 안에 아제처치도 다된가스다.
So when I think about this, there are many of us who have done the 400,000 preliminaries. This means that we've done 100,000 prostrations. And when we've done these 100,000 prostrations, has our pride decreased or has our pride increased? For example, we might think to ourselves, oh, I've done 100,000 prostrations, and it's possible that we get prideful about this. So I think it's important to look to see whether or not our pride has increased.
시안의 캐를 쓰여 로드스 되지 고어봐. 제자다 디 차차는 게다 차. 차차를 가르치는 차스가 아주 안베 루버 상으로 구구지제 가르쳐 내가 살파고 해주는 가르치잖아. 다지 수수익이 딱 간다 차세세의 유대 다 간지지면 디기 다지 연대당 디기 에너지 가서 다지 표준소바로 가르게 비면 대량한 수산법이 이루지 초치 오늘은 내가 다 간다 지 세왕면도 초바선한다로 다가나지 딜이야 오늘은 이제 규백로 이렇게 계시 진짜가 토네 안 가다지 수수익이 다 간다 루기 토셔르디 고인자 고도 마살 고디 안 버리보디게 다 간다 루기 마셔르디 딱 강보 인자 델이야 또비 취르치 다 간다 수수익 델이야베 가서도 야세 야탐바 델이야지 그바이여다 다가나 신기 공다 윤델이야 다 제수 이랑와 여버로 순제 두 차리.
So, pride is not just a question of being full of yourself, full of your own qualities. It's also the question of ignoring others. So how is it that prostrations are an antidote for this? Well, what is it that we do when we prostrate? When we prostrate, we move our body. We move our body so as to touch the 5 points onto the ground. And the reason we do this is that when we prostrate, we think about the person to whom we are prostrating. We think about their qualities. We think about their excellence. And thinking about this, it just captivates our mind. It enraptures us. And so then it just enraptures our mind. And so then with a feeling of great respect, we then touch the highest point of our body, which is our head. We bring it down to touch the ground. We bring this highest point of our body down to the lowest point of the recipient of the prostration, the lowest part of their body, which is their feet, and we imagine as if we are touching it to their feet. And so what this represents is that we have 100% respect and 100% for that other person, and we rejoice 100% in their qualities.
제사 차차사 다가지 수부구 요야지 지볼이야 차차와서 지지 문제체는 들어왔다. 다 차차사 된다르디 간다지 수수셈리야 되지. 차차사 그거 천재라고 지다. 버르벌이야 그거 천재라고 지다. 답에 답되지 시에 버르벌 90 천재라고 지다. 아니 버르벌이야 다 간다지 가서 수수기 다지 채통 채버리지. 근데 수제르지. 근데 지금 다들 인도산에 대대야 셈기 손나다 제가 자리도. 다시 수부 구역에 집을 평가 말해. 다지 셈기 손나다 제가지. 근데 지금 하대. 계속 자리도.
So in that respect, is it proper to just think of prostration as moving our body? It's not. Prostration, the meaning of prostration is that we have respect in our mind. We have respect for someone else. And if we put it in a simple way, it's like being respectful. It's like we are considering someone else highly. We are regarding them highly. So we have to have that feeling in our mind. It's not just a question of moving our body. We have to have that feeling within our mind.
제상 남주 차례 넘버 숨셔 야와치스 류기 창 아가차 이기 차스 차례 야와 숨셔.
And so for this reason, we often say that there are 3 different types of prostrations. There are prostrations with the body, prostrations with speech, and prostration with mind. 3 different types.
다 류기 차사데 아주 삼에 다시 하고 가라. 다 류기 차사데 안주지 아주 삼에 지 차지 세대 오르다. 다 데라 데스 지금 가서다. 근데 저도 와디 아주 변에 비규 난데나 개규 난데 디주 차스도 산 야랑 야마 비모주 가사마 살 가서 비모주 야랑 드시고 봐. 이나디 야갈로스 대야마스 엄마 갸나기 로자와든데 엄마 뒤럽 개변하고 갸나 로자와든데 갸갈을 연주산 딱 고수 갸갈 급디주산 갸갈 상기 때문에 열어봐 디주산 딱 고수 차 세단 갸나 루고 차데 세이스로 봐 차세주산 고수 상마 개모션으로 알아서 고수 급디주산에 갸갈이 차 세단데 부모님 맞죠 다가라는 마 구글 렌스 차를 지거라다 근데지 마다베 양 비모주 야랑마 비모주 근데 세저로 나가서 사면 근데지 요 말았어 그래서 구조 개모션으로 됐어 와 제가 다지 차양 지 세단의 데스 만다요 그러다 지 양디스 아주 휴규 난데 나로래 양지 추규 소소소 데스 만다를 지도 데지 거기 차세단 기루 차세단 가래 사계 차세단 님의 차세단 지 데스 만다를 지도 와 드린주산에 따뜻해서 류이 남주로 되나 데스 면다로 쇼고 다 너나 류기 차사다 아주 삼이 규여 버리세.
Now I think we all know what the manner of prostrating with the body is. We all do a lot of prostrations. Actually, there are different ways of prostrating. There's the Tibetan Chinese way of prostrating where you stand up and then you kneel down and touch your head to the ground and then stand all the way back up and then kneel back down. And so that's the Tibetan and Chinese way of prostrating. But actually this is not the Indian way of prostrating. In the 8th century there were great Chinese translators who went to India where the teachings of the Buddha were still flourishing. And when they got to India and prostrated, then everyone in India laughed at them because of the way they prostrated. In India, the way they prostrated at that time is that everyone kneeled, and then while kneeling, they would bow forward and touch their head to the ground. And it's not like they got up and then kneeled back down, touched their head, and get all the way back up. And so when the Chinese translators did this, then all the Indians laughed at them. In any case, there are many different ways that people prostrate. Even in Tibet, we see that there are variations in between the different lineages and how they prostrate. So there's the Kagyu way of prostrating, the Geluk way of prostrating, the Sakya and the Nyingma ways of prostrations. There are these little slight variations in it. But at any rate, these are all physical expressions that we do, and I think that we all have experience with them.
energy shengi yuanden jeba shen la be tuyang zhwa da inji mi ji lu ji lian gua ske ya mar ba da de be yang lu ji lian gua ske ya ma da shengi yuanden jia shen la be da shengi ji sang bu dang ane ji li be cha de de ji ma jue ya ro da de le ya ba ji nga go ne cha sa sa de.
Now, prostrating with our speech means that we show respect with our speech. This means that we praise others' qualities. We sing their praises. Now, when we say sing their praises, this doesn't mean that you necessarily have to sing with a lovely melody. It means that you describe their qualities. You speak of other people's qualities. You declare their positive or their excellent qualities. And so that is prostration with speech.
다지 버리 다지 차세서 유들이야 그거지 지 대바다 그거 되는지야 나들이야 이 차세서.
Now, prostration with mind means that in our minds we feel respect for the person to whom we are prostrating. We feel faith and respect for them.
다 창어마지 오늘 전에 차배 천된 춘퇴는지 오늘 전에게 야구지 세거나 이기 당부 이기 그거과의 개좀 쉽지 않아요.
Now, if we're going to have a real prostration, an authentic, genuine prostration, then first of all, it's important that we have that respect in our minds.
시에마도 아주 남 유차해야 돼. 람룩스를 차셔. 봐. 다들 아주 드지치. 제수예비 람룩스 제제바 차셔마도 세블레시라시라 좋아스게 매와. 아주 다 단도 아주 선저 공부하셔야 그러나 진주요아래 인지민지 차세고예스 갑디디 초마서 거는 차세고예스 다들 지금 진주 쇠셔도 다들 제수는 아주 제수서로다 수술을 시라 전도요 말 좋아하시라요 말이나 맞제라 안 제래요 다들 니들지 대 좋아하시라요 말다.
So if we don't have that feeling, then it's just like a tradition or a custom. It's just something that we do. We don't have much feeling in our minds for it. Sometimes in some monasteries, there's like a rule that you must prostrate. Before you do the pujas, you must go in and prostrate. And so even if you have no real wish to prostrate, you just have to do it. And so you prostrate because you have to. But there's no real feeling for it in your mind.
남루스의 코네 젠라르체 소소리아 겔리아 초나르 시아메르치 니루규즈시다 하마 남루스 코네 젠라젠데 초스게 아주디 출루사들 년가로 대도와 나 남루스 제잔다 디제 드로마도 소소 미세 초나르치게요 다딩 아주 출루 이제스당에서 년가 차슈를 지니 이르시샤.
And so if we just do this out of custom and out of tradition without any feeling for it, then there's really no point to it. Actually, I think just doing this out of tradition because it's our religion is actually a big danger. If we just prostrate and do it out of tradition because it's a custom without any real feeling or real interest in doing that, this is the biggest danger that we face.
제가 딱 아주 수수지 삼을스타는 봐. 아주지 아주 망보지 배낭 원로 무시야. 참 몸들의 체력을 망고요래. 딱 아주 삼을 하고 싶다. 난 아주 가르쳐야 돼. 미신다라 미신다가 연된 죄대도 미신다가 견죄대도. 봐. 미신다가 견경가 세대에나 다디 나가 차세와지 차도 무슨 미시나 경쟁이 죄되나 나가 창세를 이렇게 야고 쳐고 말아. 다 되네 미신다려야지 버리버려야 딱 간다지. yuandengi chane teni tela daji kuibadang ane jesu yirang rupi tindaji mayawe cheche aji ngaje chero chen zhugyo na dati ngazu chade dangda rupi deyo da chezang dan dora ngazu cha chayadi dona ji simgyu yuwe tepsu rwaji ji ngaje gi nyamboro zhotu baruchi tindaji chungwa imina ane shine ji 오늘 전에 다지 최수에서 나와서 저래 마도 들어가서 그게 대줍출에 자세야 되나 다디 시라샤 여기 가서다 저기 류제를 질 팽겨야 나마다 류종으로 질 팽겨야 나마다 생각을 하고 아 디상 디 차데 류제 십지래도스다 류종 약고 십지래도스 캡라십등 야나도 캡라십등 다 드네 뉴스한다 차게 요가를 차지 차데 요가를 차지 줍시고 다 이미네 아주지 연락 윤기 냠내 체에 그 차데 루부 정다를 체네 드네 직지보 말해 루부 정다지 태대 되게 이기로 봐다 이는 아주 미주고 대 말해 아다 미주고 다나 수수 셈리야 요아 태아지다 남 귤이겨 스두산다 베네 급들이 가자 전주쌤 계약 초가 저래 초가 이미 뉴스 급 드르지 차샤빈 전주쌤 계약 제도 편도에 되지 고르마다 더가서 봐서 그게 직 정다 제대로 수부배 타고 쓰셔야 되게 핑거 말아 맞춰서 뒤집는데 안 되게 고마시하고 이렇게 좀 있어.
So what do we, normally we think, we may think, oh, I've done the 400,000 preliminaries, I've done the 100,000 prostrations. But what have we actually done? What is it that you usually do? Do we usually declare the qualities of other people, or do we declare their faults? If we're only speaking about the faults of other people, then we aren't actually prostrating with our speech. And we're always criticizing people, then our prostrations will not actually be prostrations of speech. And when we prostrate, it's not like we we focus on the qualities of the person to whom we're prostrating and then feel respect and rejoice in those. Instead, we prostrate and our pride gets stronger and stronger. And so that's not really a prostration either. But prostration needs to be something that can actually affect our mind stream, that can move our mind stream. It needs to be something that will become an antidote for pride. And if it does, then our Dharma practice is really becoming Dharma practice. Otherwise, if it's just, if we're prostrating without that certainty, without that doubt, then it's not that beneficial. It's like exercise. It's just a way to get fit or exercise. It's nothing more than that. Actually, these days, a lot of people are publicizing how good exercise prostrations are, especially in China. But there's a danger that we're just going to end up having the prostration yoga. So, in any case, if we want to have the practice of the prostration that is one of the 7 branches, then it's not just a way of moving our body, not just a way of getting fit. Of course, it does this. It does have this benefit, but the aim of it is to change our mind stream. The aim is to develop the path within our being, to become able to develop bodhicitta. It is a preparation for developing bodhicitta, and so it needs to be able to help us develop bodhicitta. Just merely doing it in order to become healthy and fit is not much benefit, and it's important that we keep this in mind.
차사 루이 차정도 마세바 다들라 나를 보내네야 엔지 küvegi la xianlo küvegi namgyur chambar chayo de ba da na singi yi gi gwa na ja da zo zo da yi je 가르산 야가르게라 차사 야가르게라 나마스 거래 나마사 그다디 에는 그바 란주아레스 제자 디규젠 데네타 누가 이스미 번도나 그베기 누가 이스미 번다 그바 그다 그베서다 또도 쓰면 되고 용리지 그러죠.
And so, as I was saying before, we prostrate with our with our body, speech, and mind. And so, in this way, there are these different types of prostrations, these different kinds of prostrations, with the body, speech, and mind. And so, the reason we talk about prostrating with our body, speech, and mind is that a prostration shouldn't just be physical. It shouldn't just be with our body. We also need to show respect with our speech. By way of our speech, we need to give an expression of respect for others. And likewise with our mind. Actually, it is our mind that is the principle, the most important. And the reason for this is that the word for prostration in Sanskrit is namaha. And the meaning of the word namaha is primarily a meaning of respect. And so for that reason, a prostration is a way of showing respect with our body, speech, and mind. But primarily it is connected with our mind.
제나다 차사드 남 유응하라지 니마 딱바르시 남 니마 딱바르 제대하기 다 냠레르 비차디 니마 딱바 제대하 다 니마 딱바 제대하디 에너지 냠렌디 오늘 저녁에 가수에 취도 튠버를 총나 야보러 봐 다들 오늘 저녁에지 냠렌디 된데 덴버도 총나 야보러 시험은 니마 딱바 대체해야 되나 다 초란으로 시다 취수 다 들려주제 인주사 디규전 때네 다 수수님마 다와 최대한 냠렌데 쉬는 튠버도 하지 다버다 오늘 쉬는 신기 다 예라 듬보 르르 다지 녀몽바 다 가서 예라 dünyö 인주사나 디 녀몽바 dün기 냠볼래 안 주주 베라 차세 차된 아제 냠보 로요아레 되는 제수 이란라 소 제수 이란데 차도가 냠볼라 라 추이 콜로고 그거디 그래서 디모 냠보 조메로 드지다 드세.
So prostrations are something we do all the time. We do the prostrations every day. Since there's something that we do every day, then it's good for us to do it in a way that is proper, that really fits with the Dharma. If we do that, then the practice will be meaningful. Otherwise, it's just a waste. There's no point to it. So since it's a practice that we do every day, it's important that we practice them properly. It's this way with all 7 of the branches. Each of the 7 branches is an antidote for an affliction. So the 7 branches are antidotes for 7 different afflictions. So it's like the prostrations are the antidote for pride. Rejoicing is an antidote for envy. Requesting the Buddhas to turn the wheel of the Dharma is an antidote for delusion, and so forth.
pendoshtayu samasasarustu da pena da dinan bezun rin ni shui mina pena jesu iran ro cha mina da jesu iran de da ji sangye ne su simjing ga par da gewa thangje la jesu iran cha ji to si bare.
Now, I won't go into it in too much detail. I don't think there's much point or much benefit to being too detailed about this, but to discuss a few as like examples. With rejoicing, we need to rejoice in all of the merit of all the Buddhas and all sentient beings.
제가 심전려야지 계획 삼박계야기 튕긴 용신 개개 마을 드리지 규주지 매 인도산 드리게 규주리야 semje ji li ya gewe samba na ji ma do ma ge bi mi ne de la nga zu sa me ji de le yang ne ji chue gu jo bu ji du xie xia ne an de le ya be ji ga shui jesu iran da ga wa gong gu re su.
It's like it's said in the teachings of the great masters of the past. Now, this is the age of the 5 degenerations, or degenerate age. And so for that reason, for sentient beings to develop a virtuous thought in their mind, there are very few of the favorable conditions for this. There are many different obstacles and impediments to this. So for this reason, if a single sentient being has a virtuous thought, then we should think of this as being the jewel of the Dharma and rejoice and delight in it.
어디 개심을 차리어 알았다. 안다야 가르쳐다. 다 가르쳐라. 아주 최군조 아주 깜부 세외 걸이야. 상계 접수 최를 접수 채웠어. 아주 깜부 세외 걸도 시가래. 다 미지기 길이야. 오늘 저녁에 개회 삼바를 나 지금마다 외비네. 때문에 최군조 선바르디. 오늘 저녁 선바스는 다도다. 지 차분로디 샤디하래. 제자들 인주산 델레양 아주 오늘 저녁에 다지 제수이란다 가와 지지 가서 지기 귤이야 텐더도 지 최군조배 차바사바스는 다도 다지 선보스는 다 지지 예베디 오늘 지 가와게 예베지라 에너지 대박게 예베지 샤디하래 인주산 디규제 때네 아주 진지지기 나간다 삼 동시에 버지 칸에지 최를 접수쳐라 다 이미는 아주 라렌타가 걸려야 에너지 미신달이야 되게 다가 교회 삼바를 준비된 아주 미세겠다 소소라의 교회 삼바가 나지되면 현지 교회 삼바 나지게버 될래야 아주 제수이랑 미부 드리체 뉴스나 아주 교회 자와 체 아는 다지 가수에 갈라하부지 같이 사디 또 삼바를 준비 뉴스나 디규zen데네 엔지빈지 다가다 저기 제수이랑 드리지다 심지 수르지 다지 교회 삼바 나지지 깨난다 다 교회 삼바 다는 지 교회 차와 나지마도 마셔비네 될량 아주지 제 당무스 고란소를 패도체모도 이미냐 아니 지 심기 띵네 다 될래야지 가와고나다 아니 제수이랑 피하디 계신부를 차대요 알아서
So this is really important. We usually think of the Dharma, the jewel of the Dharma. We think of we go for refuge to the Dharma that was taught by the Buddha. But actually, if there's a single person who has a single virtuous thought, then that's a real living jewel of the Dharma. It's still warm, it's fresh. And so we really need to rejoice in and delight in that living and fresh jewel of the Dharma that we find in one person. When we see such a jewel of the Dharma, we should be happy about it. We should feel joy in it. And if we do not do this, and instead we say orally, we say with our mouths, "Oh, I'm going for refuge," and yet in the actual practice, we forget about going for refuge. We do not even appreciate the virtues that other people have. We ourselves lack any virtues in our own beings, and if there's someone else who has even just a single virtuous thought, or he even does a single small virtuous act, if we do not rejoice in that, then it's like we have severed our own virtue, and it's very difficult for us. So therefore, we need to rejoice. So whenever there's any other sentient being who has just a single virtuous thought, or who does just a single virtuous act, even if it is not directly beneficial for them, we need to delight in this. We need to rejoice in it. It is very important to do so.
다는 신기 최유 홀로코아 그 소환되바 다대지 디모고 녀버르지 어제 샤쇼이 길에 삼장도 가르사나 사기 최유 홀로코 지금 랑도르 남이 유산 텔레데네지 아주 지 미셰바다 지 몽베기 that mother seche and takanda landor cheshe chagi yusane that the moving embers and a manjum scale.
Likewise, supplicating the Buddha to turn the wheel of Dharma is an antidote for delusion. And the reason for this is that when the Buddha turns the wheel of the Dharma, we haven't known what we should do and what we should not do. We have the ignorant delusion of not knowing. So because the Buddha turns the wheel of Dharma, then we learn what it is that we should do and shouldn't do. And in this way, it becomes the antidote for our delusions.
가르쳐 망부시도 쇼장 망부시지 제가 드린 주는 당에 라인다 상계 데베 도망고 데스톤데 다 추이 걸로 마고로 지시고 살았어 마다 주지 아 만대요 그라도 보면 동해야 가르쳐한테 만대요 제가 다가다지 상계 다가다지 숭성을 다지 상계 숭 망부지 아래 다는 신기 아니지 가베 개와는 숭 망부시지 안디 아래 다 이내야 아주지 다 된제지 망부지에 버치체 되게들랑 아주 미세 로정다 냠네 시라라 지요나 다 이미네 지취지 콜로 꼬로치 아지 상계 취지 콜로 가서다지 마고르니 아주 갈래시 체데 수치 다 된제지 와디가르 이미네야 다 조조지 상계 취지 콜로 꼬르냐 아주 지 냠네는지 로정의 냠내를 시다 제도면인사 나디 취콜로 권내 펜도시다 메딩 아 네미 유산에 나 취콜로 고 소원 데버스 비상 오늘네 지 취콜로 담보 고라 소원 데브그 균zen다 다 근데 취콜로 고알이야 지 권내 된지 냠내 치아 데버더지 되냐 쉬우지지 니지 그 통하네 취콜로 고 소원 데버치 tia nyamsolema ti nalola karin duyo arasana ta ti nyamsolema suzu gyuliya ane ji gyuda jarche ane lalentaya tisu sama duyo arba mato tagasi ti sowashi tak nansadu ta yushana ta ti dinda marwa ta ti industana ta ti yawaji nyamlen cheshe chumena shine tene ji di mogu nyamon raro chi yondi arasana.
But when we supplicate the Buddha to turn the wheel of Dharma, it shouldn't just be words. We shouldn't just be asking the Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma. We need to we need to know how to practice it. When we say supplicating supplicating to turn the Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma, actually we've already got a lot. The other day we were proofreading an index of the Kanjur. And as we were reading it, I remarked that it's really difficult to actually recite the entire, to read the entire contents of the Kanjur. There are just too many titles. You know, the Buddha taught so many different sutras. And it's almost like we should say, please don't teach any more sutras. We can't even read all the ones that we have. Just reading the titles is more than we can do. So there are many different teachings that the Buddha has already given us. There are many different teachings that the masters of India and Tibet have already given to us, but there are so many of them that we aren't able to practice them all. We aren't able to study them all. And yet we still say, please turn the wheel of the Dharma. We supplicate the Buddha. And yet if the Buddha turns the wheel of the Dharma, maybe it'd be better if the Buddha didn't turn the wheel of the Dharma again. Actually, even if the Buddha turns the wheel of the Dharma, if we do not have the practice, if we are not able to do the mind training and practice ourselves, then even if the Buddha turns the wheel of the Dharma, it will not benefit us much. So when we say we supplicate the Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma, then we need to understand the reasons for needing the Dharma. We need to have the desire to practice the Dharma. We need to have the passion to be able to, the passion for the Dharma. And if we have that, then we can put it into practice. And so, actually, if we have that, what the practice of supplicating the Buddha to the Dharma needs to include is also the practice of it. It needs to include us incorporating the Dharma into our beings and actually practicing it. And if we do that, then supplicating the Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma will be beneficial. Otherwise, if we supplicate the Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma, and the Buddha gives us the Dharma, and then we just toss it away, there's no benefit to that. It's only when we begin to practice it that it will actually become the antidote for delusion.
다도나 간다량 거스베 야라 등이 냠len 데이터도 본슈는 신게 간다지 다 초사 집장기 냠len기 dom주지 다 냠len기 상물로 초지도 dom샤버지 든지기 다 가다 내가 상문 뒤에 든지샤디 하래 제가 된 주사네 다디 냠len 드리지 내가 상문디 디난 뒤에 인두산에 에너지 냠len 지 제대로 저 로라 샤대로 지 수수 제도 있는 저 로라 샤대로 드리지 샤디하래.
And so to summarize, as I mentioned before, these 7 branches contain all of the practices of gathering the accumulations of merit and purifying the obscurations. It contains all the major points. And it's also, because it contains all the major points, then it is a simple and easy practice that is easy to keep in mind.
다데 저 냠len 당이 권슈는 신기 지 당아주 야나 등이 냠len 체에 걸려야 당 오늘 되는지 차나 예배를 있으면 나서 예배를 드리지 봐지 냠len을 체지 저 디셈 초아를 예배지 드리지 냠len 체지 마다지 셈이야 다가도 초나 예배를 드리지 냠len 제과데 계속 자리 얼마 다시 야라디 바바 되샤바 잠시다 안 바지 넘겨르지 인데마 잠시긴 저기 말해서
And so, as I mentioned before, we need to, when we practice these 7 branches, it's like we need to practice them as if there's, with feeling, as if there's, like we're ill people who need to get over it. We need to have that feeling in the mind. If we practice it with that feeling in the mind, it'll be beneficial. Otherwise, if we just merely recite the 7 branches and make a physical show of it, there's really not much benefit to that.
디버샤베 과다다 선인지 시안 중매로 손다 지단 디버샤베 과다 망보시아도 마시디 타겐 나로 망보시 손샤 제자 대단 제체 타겐 나로 망보시 손여비 유산에 디고 대시아나 야보면서 도스 정도 제자 선이 쉬셔샤이.
So the next topic is the confession of misdeeds, and I think we will speak about this tomorrow. There's a lot to say about this. Actually, there's quite a bit in the Ornament of Precious Liberation, and so in connection with that, we will speak about this tomorrow. Now, I also have a few things I'd like to say about the Winter Dharma gathering. Now, over the past few days, we held the puja of Tseringma, And as I mentioned before, the main reason for holding this was for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and I think that the puja went very well.
대서 침벽이다 착시를 제 근데게 다 간다 좀주 이제 초보다 좀주 이제 초보 팀 당부를 버셔야돼요. 다지 되게 가서 때 미세 당원에 좀 마음 발해야 되지 아주 좀주 줘봐 개바 근데게 지금 차례는 채비네 가서 다 제투사를 써서로지 다 들으시기 다지 다
Now the main thing is that like this is the first time that that you nuns have done this practice according to the traditions and the practices of the great monastic seats, and I think that in the future you will be able to continue to do these great offering practices, and I have the confidence that you will be able to do these practices.
지리만 가정만 건도 주변은 신이래. 에너지 주규게 투모마이베 지준 밀레게다 주규게다 투모마이베 소마로도 차대요래. 아니 지준 니기시네. 다 간다. 나이 때마디 미나네 위버되마. 아 위버되마 스스로 당보로 무시. 아 당보로 무시다. 아니 미만이기 나는 지리민 짐버도스 대제제다 간나미 인두스탄다 간다 주규기지 다 수마세난다도 유변증에서는 다 투모임으로도 차디어래 아다 직대지다.
So Tseringma is said to be one of the particular protectors or particular holders of the lineage of the practice lineage of Milarepa. As Milarepa himself said, he said, the main human upholder of my lineage is the teacher from U, which means Gampopa. The main non-human holder is Tseringma. And so, since Milarepa said this, we can say that Tseringma is the special guardian or a special holder of the practice lineage.
And 다나시 가산디 Tseringma 추베돌이야랑 몰람루티 jaar zo chik de da kanda zume de disulya da maombalya da zume de disu chik tarshin gever ta yer chumina kap de yusane da zume de disu go tingyen u tingyen somar da de ji 기부 담바로 다 되지 바지 마음발로 고래 나바르도 지다다 가서 배 간식이 좀이야 지 분명히 때라다 개발된 주변이야 근데 망부 중원에 망부 중벌에 돼 다 망부 중벌에 돼 맨날 다 대주술이야 안데 데스지 가서에 마음발이야다 지 템바 사기를 중벌입니다 아니 데다 지 지르다 분명히 된다 분명히 된래야 다 간다 지 가져다지 기준 상품 좀배 다지 기부 담아 이제 패치 근데 내가 돈에 아니지 때문에 지금 배송 해야돼 아니지 지를 심제 아니 양고수지 주면 되지 소리야 다 계심으로 차려야 알아 제가 뒤주는데 다 되지 다 얘기 자와스는 라도 디 melам 디지 한바차라에서 지잖아 바디 치링마데 치링 챙아 유디산 치링 챙아를 넘주지리 아니 봐다 넘주지 다 패고서랬다 아무발이야다지 에네 그러다지 데버진요 아지긴 주메 데르술이야 데버진요 비좀 차려 이 패고서랬어 다 되지 되지 melam도 제비 아들이 직잖아 안다지 melam데 루야게 라와도 용시게 단도 내 제제 간다 너나 가주에 가상마 쉬는 신기 주메기 데드줄이야 한다가다 스리마디 안 로다바르시 사르 되는 야마로스 라바도네 다이 달로 양초 차체 양초디 중요 말에 다들 양초의 산화 전쟁으로 안드레아 드리지 로질이야 사르 되는 아니 야우여서래서 좀 정도
So yesterday, as we were doing the puja of Tseringma, the aspiration I made is that by doing this, that the community of nuns may thrive and flourish. That in the future there may be great beings who appear to lead the community of nuns. Now in Tibet, of course, we've had a great many great scholars and masters who have appeared in a female body. But these days, we don't really know so much about them. But in the future, that it may be that this may flourish and spread. In the future, we need to have many women who, on the support of a female body, become great scholars, very venerable and good, and then are able to uphold and propagate the teachings of the nuns community. And so I think that this is important for sentient beings in general, and in particular, it's important for the nuns community. And so my hope or my aspiration, perhaps I'm being too bold in my aspiration, I don't know, but my aspiration is that each of the five, Tseringma and her sisters, that each of them can send an emanation.
All five.
Yeah. So that Tseringma and her five sisters, or Tseringma and her four sisters, a total of five, that each of them will be able to send an emanation who will uphold the teachings of the nuns community. So that's the aspiration that I made yesterday. Maybe I was being too bold, but maybe there's a hope that this will happen. In any case, yesterday we held the puja, and as I've mentioned before, I think that if the communities of nuns, the monasteries, the nuns communities can hold the puja of Tseringma every year, then it will be very good. There was the plan to do the wealth gathering puja this year. It didn't work out, but next year we will do it. In any case, I think that it is important for the communities of nuns to do this puja once every year.
지수 밀레레 외게다 템바 데 에너지 미지다 미마인지리아 템바 투스테야레 다데 템바 딜루데 다자가 템바 투시쟁게 다 자바다 튜머를 지베지리아 우지도 쇼에 가라사나다 다자가 템바 투시쟁게 다 템바 때야기 공바셰 유산 다 마음발해야지 템바디 마지 대외 공부시 유산에 다 밀 때는 가서래다 민 팔 때는 가서래 이제 공부시 유산에 아니 미디 아니 채통동이 비 유산에 때문에 유린도 내고 유산에 미디 미지 동동만 매자 안 때문에 유린도 내야라 이제 갈아하고 있었어 다 하지 체증이 알아 제가 하 때문에 때는 가지 용서 건데 하지 체증이 알지나 다시 정하고 하지도 밤에서 말이야. düğün yingni phame bi yusane de gyunzena dene aya je hladi zule dene ya phame bi yingwe wa ga ta temba ya bujin jin so pare 제가 다 hlada mingigal desana anda koraji chanyom ru chaje aya bu yonsere koche ta mi nane da da ji tembe gesib chebo da khabo yusu nima ji tembe derma ribesin da tembe derb sade 남중 아주 삼단 주산 tembe derb sade 지 temba yonzo gejerib samdan di arde ime tembe derb sade jichena 탐지 예버로 마와 지부 메로 삼을 드리죠 탐지 예버로 마와 패신 대회 거즈 켈링 tembe derb 주 패신 대회 켈링 유사 말아 삼삼시 tembe derb 그 나는 마지 지 위송의 군가와다 샤네 괴제는 마체디 탐지위원회에 법원 경관 차대기 수업시들도 딱 안달 강인에면 딱 하나 탐지위원회 써야 돼. 년도에 대비해 난다. 다기 치슈 휴견 치슈를 차대기 위해서 다 버지 대바 용조 대버스네 저기 예대버스도 안달이랑 미 나네 파벌 순치 벌려야 돼. 대바 대나에 그래. 미만이 나는 다 예버신 무실이야. 예버신 무실이야. 안 대바대. 대바 순교 체화 dus 가능하게 버려. 인도스탄다 대기 수된 총바. 이제 미 다지 미 난다 우버되마 세나가로 답으로 붙이는 마 대바대. 아니 미만이기라는 지름만 대바대. 다되지. 대바 상계 좀 된 얘기. 아무로 답아도 제스핀 버려 비슷해지래 삼도스 정이요.
And so, in this way, Milarepa entrusted his teachings to humans and to non-humans. And this is actually, this fits very well with what the Bhagavan Buddha, the Shakyamuni Buddha, did. The reason for this is that when the Buddha was asked about preserving his teachings, at the end he was asked, would it be better to entrust the teachings to humans, or would it be better to entrust them to the gods? And the Buddha replied, well, humans have a short life, but the teachings need to remain a long time. Since humans have such a short life, it's difficult then for them to preserve the teachings for a long time. So then he was asked, well, gods have long lives. Is it okay to maybe entrust the teachings to the gods? And the Buddha replied that yes, the gods may have long lives, but they're distracted and careless. They're distracted by sensory pleasures. And so therefore, they might not be able to uphold the teachings if they're lost in distraction, in carelessness. And so it would be best to entrust the teachings to both humans and non-humans. And so among humans, then, the Buddha entrusted his teachings to his great regent, the great Kashyapa, who is then passed down in the lineage of elders. Now, when we talk about the elders who preserve the teachings, normally we actually think about masters, all of whom are in the Sarvastivada school. And actually, not all the schools accept them as being the elders. Like in the Mahasangika school, they don't accept them all as being elders, like the elders of Kashyapa, Nanda, and Shainat Chen, and so forth. These are all masters of the Sarvastivada school. Now, maybe the Sarvastivada school was the most widespread of the 18 original schools of the listeners, and so perhaps it's okay to say that they were that they upheld or that they had been entrusted the complete teachings of the Buddha. But in any case, among humans, the Buddha entrusted his teachings to Kashyapa. And among non-humans, he entrusted his teachings to the four great kings and asked them to protect the teachings. And so in a similar fashion, Milarepa also entrusted his teachings among humans to Gampopa and among non-humans to Tserengma. And so in this way, he was following the example that the Buddha Bhagavan himself had set.
사면 도르지 샤과디 다드니 제샤 다드네 아드네 미세 다 개매외 소식도 다 들으시미잖아 다 과제 진 주춤나 가메 들으시 사나 가메 들으시.
And so I'd like to ask you to all please keep this in mind. I haven't anything else to say in particular, so perhaps it's best if we end here.